temperament. Hello there and a warm welcome to SuperScreen News at 6, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I am Adenike Oweye Ajiboye. President Muhammadu Buhari says he will not hesitate to punish security chiefs if any case of abduction is recorded in any part of the country. President Buhari made the announcement on Friday during the reception held for the released Deputy Girls and their parents at the presidential villa Abuja. The president said he had directed the chief's officers to beef up security around all schools. He also warned those who described as politicizing security issues, saying the security agents would deal with them. Buhari said the security services have been directed to put in place security measures in order to ensure the safety of pupils, students, teachers, and school workers. Still staying with President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to grant amnesty to members of the Boko Haram sect who are ready to drop their arms and embrace peace. President Buhari made the promise at the presidential villa Abuja while receiving girls who were abducted from their school in Dabchi Yobe State. The president announced that a total of 107 students previously abducted have been unconditionally released by their abductors. Buhari said the unconditional release signified his administration's commitment to the security and well-being of all Nigerians. The president assured the rescued students that they will freely live and pursue their dreams in Nigeria of peace and order without fear of violence or molestation. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Ibrahim Idris, has assured all schools in the northeastern parts of Nigeria of adequate police security. The Inspector General, who disclosed this in Borno during a visit to Government College and Yowa Government Girls College, Maiduguri, said the police are determined to end the spate of kidnappings in the region and assure the students that each school would have policemen except in Yowa Government Girls College, where 10 police personnel are being attached. Ibrahim explained that in the Girls College, 5 females and 5 males police details would be attached. He therefore appealed to the students and the managers of the schools to cooperate with the police attached to their schools by reporting all suspicious characters to them for immediate action. The committee set up by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to investigate the allegation of undervoting during local government elections in Kano State has submitted its report to the electoral body. The committee was inaugurated by INEC in February to investigate the allegation of underage voting, which was allegedly linked to the voters registered in Kano. According to a statement issued by INEC Director of Publicity and Voter Education, Oluwole Osaze Usi in Abuja, said the committee submitted its report to INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu. The chairman of the committee, Ahmed Nahuche, told Yakubu that diligent and wide consultations with stakeholders were made by the committee. The Katsina State Governor has approved the employment of 1,000 security guards for all boarding schools in the state. The State Governor Aminu Masari, who discussed this during the 3rd convocation ceremony of the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua University, Katsina, said the decision followed the prevailing security situation in the country. Masari said that when he assumed office in 2015, He made it clear that his mission was to recover the state's lost in education and agriculture. He said his administration equipped existing schools, built new ones, increased the number of enrollment, and recruited qualified teachers to make the sector attractive. Now, following the signing of Neighborhood Watch Bill into law by the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, a non-governmental organization in the state has found against his decision. The NGO has also written a petition against the state to the President, Muhammadu Buhari, urging him to look into the situation with a second eye.
The Rivers State Neighborhood Watch Bill, which was recently signed into law by Governor Nyesom Wike, has been received with different views. The bill, which gives the new security groups the power to work jointly with other security agencies in the state, has been queried by some stakeholders in Rivers State. Speaking at the Government House in Port Harcourt, Governor Nyesom Wike said the Neighborhood Watch was formed to work in synergy with other security agencies to fight cases of kidnapping, armed robbery and cultism, as well as serve as an intelligence unit to the police.
Police cannot be everywhere. When you say you want to go all out against kidnappers, you want to go all out against cultists, people begin to think there's politics. If there's any person who's a member of a political party that's a cultist, we should not spare that person. I've always said it, because tomorrow it could be their own spirit. Nobody should see crime as part of politics at all.
In his address to journalists at the press briefing in Port Harcourt, Chimdi Owoji said the Neighborhood Watch is a means of witch hunting and will lead to increase in criminal activities in the state.
This is a guise of creating a state police of its own terror squad, and their victims are going to be the opposition parties, members. And from the law that established this particular group, the Neighborhood Safety Watch, they have the power like of the police force. They can detect crimes, they can investigate crimes, they can arrest perceived offenders, they can as well prosecute, and they will also bear arms to hunt their opponents.
They also spoke on the visit of President Muhammadu Buhari to the state, saying it would be of great benefit to the people.
President Buhari, please, we hear you're coming to Rivers State, to visit Rivers State because of insecurity. Know you today that your Minister of Transportation is the first man that is bringing insecurity in Rivers State. Know it that if you say you're fighting corruption, that on your native head there is a white paper of corruption, of all the destruction of Rivers' economy on his head.
The group called on the Inspector General of the Police to put a stop to the Neighborhood Watch set up by the governor.
The Federal High Court has dismissed the 13 counts of money laundering and passport fraud instituted by the federal government against 7 justices of the Supreme Court, Justice Sylvester Unguta. Justice Unguta was among the judicial officers whose houses were raided by the operatives of the Department of State Services, DSS, in October 2016. Unguta was subsequently charged with various corruption offenses by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. Ruling on an application by him today, the trial judge and Justice John Saw dismissed the charges on the grounds that was anchored on an earlier judgment of the Court of Appeal held that the preconditions for instituting charges against the judicial officer were not met before charging Justice Unguta. The appeal court had dismissed the charges instituted by the EFCC against the Federal High Court judge on the basis that a serving judge could not be investigated or prosecuted without being first disciplined by the National Judicial Council. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has fixed April 9 to rule on an application for overseas medical treatment of a third accused, Olajumoke Olariwaju. Olajumoke Olanrewaju is standing trial alongside with a former Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Jumoke Akijide, over 650 million naira fraud. Akijide is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), along a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Designate Alison Madueke. Alison Madueke is, however, said to be at large. Also charged is a former Senator Ayo Adeseun and Olanrewaju, who is People's Democratic Party (PDP) chieftain. They are accused of facing charges of allegedly conspiring to directly take possession of 650 million naira, which they reasonably ought to have known formed part of proceeds of an unlawful act without going through a financial institution. When the case came up today, Akinola Olajide counsel to Olanrewaju informed court of a motion on notice seeking permission for the third accused to travel to the US for medical treatment. Olajide told the court that the nature of the accused ailment was one that required overseas medical attention, urging the court to order release of her international passport to enable her travel for treatment. You're still watching SuperScreen News at 6, or take a short break here, and when we return, we'll bring you business news to stay.
I'm here to talk to you about the Infinity Card. The Infinity Card is a preloaded card that provides safer, easier, and faster financial services. Because it's not linked to any bank account, it eradicates the risks of exposure to your bank accounts. With it, you can plan your giving and expenses while staying within your budget. The Infinity Card works perfectly well for online transactions. With the self-service reloadable plan, it helps you diversify and distribute with no stress. It can be used to make withdrawal on any ATM nationwide. It offers a safe and secure alternative to handling bulky cash, since it's acceptable at any point of sale. Concerned about security? We've got you covered. Apart from eliminating the risks of exposure to your bank accounts, the Infinity Card is secure as an entity. Don't go another day without it.
For more information, visit www.myinfinitycard.com or call 0908-248-0591. The Infinity Card is also available at face value and loadable at any quick teller enabled ATM across the country.
Well, it's so glad to have you back now in Business World. The Senate has rejected a member of the nominees of President Muhammadu Buhari for the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The upper chamber also confirmed 3 other nominees for the position, as well as accept 2 candidates for the post of the Deputy Governor of the CBN. The decision of the upper chamber is sequel to report by the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Institutions headed by Senator Rafiu Ibrahim.
The Senate has rejected the nomination of Sheikh Madugu as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. According to the lawmakers, the rejection of Madugu is due to his long years in the public service, which may hamper his productivity on the long run. The Senate also confirmed the nomination of Adeola Adenikinju, Aliyu Rafindad, and Robert Chikwundi, respectively.
Having been satisfied, that's our recommendation, with the academic and professional qualification, competence, work experience, suitability, and character of the aforementioned 3 nominees, hereby recommend that 1, that the Senate do confirm the nomination of the following nominee of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, as member of the Monetary Policy Committee.
In his remark, Senate Majority Leader Ahmed Lawan advised the executive to present another nominee who is better qualified to replace the rejected Madugu. Meanwhile, the Senate also confirmed the nomination of Aisha Ahmed and Edward Lamthek for appointment as Deputy Governors of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.
Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Professor Adeola Festus Adenikinju as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Professor Adiola Festus Adenikuju is hereby confirmed as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Aliu Rafindadi Sanusi as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Aliu Rafindadi Sanusi is hereby confirmed as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Will the Senate confirm the nomination of Dr. Robert Chikwendu Osagwe as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Robert Chikwendu Osagwe is hereby confirmed as a member of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Distinguished colleagues, let me Senate confirm the nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmed as Deputy Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Mrs. Aisha Ahmed is hereby confirmed as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Only time will tell which candidates will be nominated by the President as a worthy replacement for the rejected nominee, even as the positive signs continues in the Senate.
The Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria, APBN, has urged the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development to make the Ajaokuta Steel Company in Kogi State functional before giving it out to private investors. The National President, APBN, Idris Omede, who disclosed this in Akure, the Ondo State capital, said the body, which has 30 different professional bodies as members, had offered several professional advice to the government on the steel company, but the advice was never taken. The association also commended the House of Representatives over the steps taken so far on the steel company, but expressed dissatisfaction with the alleged lackadaisical attitude of the federal government on the project. The Treasury single account has recorded a total inflow of 8.9 trillion naira from ministries, departments, and agencies of government. The Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, who discussed this in Abuja, said over 70 billion naira of funds belonging to the federal government had been lost to distressed banks in the country. Idris also said the Treasury single account had been used by the government to unify all its accounts by ensuring that all monies belonging to the federal government were kept with the Central Bank of Nigeria. He said the initiative had assisted the federal government to close over 17,000 bank accounts, while huge sums of money had been moved from deposit money banks to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has restrained the Lagos State government from enforcing the provisions of its new hotel occupancy and restaurant regulations 2017 fiscalization. The law introduced a 5% consumption tax in addition to a 5% value-added tax on every purchase or service rendered by hotels, restaurants, fast foods, outlets, event centers, bars, and nightclubs. In a ruling on March 21, 2018, Justice Ridwan Aikawa restrained the state from further enforcing the law. The judge said the law would remain suspended until the final determination of a suit